Hi. Thanks everybody for watching and subscribing. I love it. It's so sweet of you guys. Sorry I was a little MIA the last few weeks. I'll explain later. But I promised everybody a tutorial on things to say, things not to say to a cancer patient. Me. But I think everybody has said these things and I'm totally fine with it. I will say now, it takes a lot to get me upset. So there's things that people will say, and life is too short to be worrying about little things. So I let it brush off. There's times where I might correct them or say something, but for the most part, hopefully all these things are safe and pretty generic that you should be fine. It's kind of like commenting someone if they're pregnant. Just don't. Don't ever say that. Let them tell you. So with that, I would say anytime you go visit somebody, talk to them, have a normal conversation. I'm still the same girl. I just forgot that I did go blonde. So hi, it's the same girl. We were blonde, then we went back to natural, then we were blonde. It's way more fun. Anyway, I love just having regular conversations. What's going on in your world? Are you having issues with your kids, with your husband, with school, whatever? It's nice to feel needed. It's nice to feel useful. So I don't want to talk about this all the time. If I bring it up, please listen. You don't have to provide feedback. Just say like, wow, that sucks and I'm really sorry for you. Because you do not understand the situation unless you're one of us. So to say you understand is not the case, most likely. Okay, so stick to normal things. Kids, dogs, whatever. And that should be pretty safe. But I think people get uncomfortable feeling like they don't know what to talk about. Just talk about what you used to talk about. And if you don't know them that well, then come prepared. Like think about, is there anything you need me to do around the house while I'm here? Before you leave, offer to get something. Do you want me to get you a glass of water before I leave so you don't have to get up? And don't make it sound like I'm afraid you're going to hurt yourself if you stand up, but I'm already going to be getting up. Do you want me to get something for you? I may say no anyway, but at least you offered. Second thing, hair loss. Don't. I can say it's just hair. To me, it's just hair. I need to get it more white, but it is just hair to me. To a cancer patient, though, I've lost my hair a few times now. It is one of the hardest days because right now, I go to Target, I go to King Soopers, whatever. It's our bakers. I go there and nobody has a clue. In fact, I will say I've had a few people question my diagnosis because I look so good. I know. But even still, once you lose your hair, you are a target for the looks and the like sad, like, I can't even fake a sad look right now. Thank you, Lexapro. Oh no, I'm on Effexor, sorry. Antidepressants are very helpful. But the minute that you walk out of your house bald, everybody knows. So you do get stopped in the grocery store. You get stopped by everybody. You're just obviously going through cancer. And you might have alopecia, but I think most people have cancer. And so they're like, oh, no. So just ignore it. Tell them they look great. Call it good. Don't assume it's also going to come back. So like, don't say it's just hair and it'll come back. One of my very best friends took a drug and it caused a drug for cancer. Not just for fun. And it caused, she's got a thinning spot. I don't think it looks bad, but I know it is a horrible issue for her. So unless she brings it up, I'm not going to bring it up because I know how hard that is, because it's so much of your identity. And no matter how many times you're like, oh, what will I look like bald? That is not even close to what it looks like. All of a sudden you're like, oh, Smurf. That's our naughty word. Like, oh, that was when Gretchen hit me. Oh, yeah, no, my head's perfectly round. Everybody tells me I have a good head for being bald. What does that mean? I don't know. Apparently I have a really great shaped head. Don't be jealous. Here's my biggest one. You could get hit by a bus. You sure could. Here's the thing. Let's just hypothetically, so if you were to say to me like, oh, I'm sure it's hard to have stage 4 cancer, but everybody dies. I could get hit by a bus tomorrow. There's a time where I'm like, I kind of want you to get hit by that bus. No, I love you. Some people have said that to me that I'm close to, and it's fine. Here's what I would say though. The biggest difference with that. If anything happens to you during your workday, during, when you leave for the day, that is a terrible situation. However, you haven't known about it. So in a week and a half, I will hit my 3-year cancerversary. And that's a little tough. But I know how this story ends. I know that statistically I have 2 to 5 years, and that like 22% live to be 5 years. So while some people are like, oh, you've made it 3 years, I look at it as, yeah, except for I'm 3 years out. I'm 3 years into a whole bunch of drugs. I'm 3 years into drugs that are eliminating me from clinical trials because I have so many chemo drugs in my body. So for me, it's almost a scary anniversary than a joyous one. Also, that's kind of how my mentality goes, is like Debbie Downer sometimes. That's tough. So yes, you could get hit by a bus, but you're not sitting in your house looking at your children thinking, what are they going to look like when they're older? What are they going to do when they're older? Are they going to be good students? Are they going to, I look over there. That's where they sit. They're in bed. My kids go to bed at 7:30. They don't really fall asleep until 8:30, but mommy needs some alone time. Anyway, I look over there because I just have had those thoughts. And so there's a part of me that you get eaten up inside when you sit there and think, are they going to remember me? Am I old enough? Are they old enough that they're going to even understand what's going on? I can tell you right now, mine have no clue. In fact, a friend of mine in my stage 4 group was talking about, when did your kids understand death? I mean, good or bad, I haven't even experienced very many people die. I still have my grandmothers alive. But I don't know what they get yet. I mean, they're 5 and 7, but they haven't experienced it. So there's times, except for with a pet, there's times where they're like, oh, they just go to heaven. And then, like, I think the permanency is what I get concerned of. So that kind of goes into my mental status over Christmas. With the cancerversary coming up, with, the holiday season is such a big time of year. And for me, it was, am I creating memories? Am I, doing all of the things that in a couple years I'll look back and go, oh my God, that was so great. Do you remember doing that? Or, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that my mom did all this. It just kind of happened. There's a lot of those things that have been bothering me. And then, you add in just normal stressors, and then we're switching insurance and we're doing all these things. It's a lot. It's a lot to handle. So just realize that when you say like, well, I could get hit by a bus. Yes, you very well could. I could too. The issue is that I know that I'm going to die before I'm going to go with 50. But it could be in a week. It could be in a year. It could be in 10 years. I don't know. Other than I know when my doctor tells me with 10 years, this isn't anything that is going to be cured. I would love it if it happened, believe me. But realistically, there's a clock ticking somewhere, as opposed to, like most people are going to live to be grandparents. I'm lucky to be a parent. So believe me, I'm feeling super blessed about that, but something to be aware of. Okay, so here's what prognosis. Don't talk about prognosis. The amount of drugs I have to take to like get through that last section is kind of crazy, but it's also reality. So I will just say my cancer prognosis is 2 to 5 years. Don't Google it. Don't look it up. And don't tell the person with cancer to look it up, because that was a horrific day when I found that out. I did not realize that because I didn't surf the internet because my doctor told me not to. And then I found that out, and that was a bad day. We all have an idea, and it's something we all think about, like, when is it going to happen? Am I going to not wake up one morning? Will I have a heart attack during the night? You don't know. But unless I bring it up to you, probably steer clear. So here's my advice. Do stuff. Do not ask, what can I do for you? Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Just do it. Shovel snow. If they haven't got out and shoveled, go do it. Because I can tell you, this like manufactured poison that I have, I would rather be shoveling outside than deal with some of the side effects of this stuff. So if you see that like my driveway's not cleared off, even though Jason is capable, it could have been a bad night. It could have been a bad week. The kids could be sick, a whole bunch of things. Just do stuff. Take in their trash cans. And if they catch you and are like, oh, you don't have to do that, just say, try to stop me. Do whatever. Be sarcastic. Be fun. But don't make it seem like, well, I know you can't because you have cancer. No, just do it. Don't ask what to do, because I won't ask you to do anything. I never do. But my advice is just do things. Do little things around the house. Get your friends together and just text, I want to bring you dinner this week. What night is the best? You're not asking, you're telling. That seems to work better. There are some people that don't want help. Read the room. But for the most part, I think everyone has a hard time asking for things. So if you just put it out there like, hey, let me know if you ever need anything, I'm probably not going to let you know. But our neighbor that is my age, Gretchen, brought over, when she heard I had cancer in my spine and in my coccyx, I love that word. She came over and brought a specialty from a special store seat. Love it. Still have it. I use it all the time. She didn't ask, hey, do you need one? It was like, ding dong, here, you need this. Those are so appreciated because, one, it's very sweet, but I'm not going to ask you for help. I'm not going to say like, hey, would somebody go get this for me? No. Just do stuff. Okay, so If I missed anything and anybody can think of anything that you want me to mention, feel free. If you have questions, ask me anything. Believe me, I have been asked. I will answer it. And then I think the next post, I might get into some medicinal marijuana because I think there's a huge misunderstanding about it. And to be honest with you, I think it's got me to this point. So that'll be next time. Everybody have a great beginning of your year. Many blessings. Hope everybody stays safe. I don't know why I did this. I look like an animal. Okay. I love you all. Good night.